Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to start my magical May. It's May 8th. It's still May. It's fine, right? Now, magical May was going to be me starting Christopher's and my trip to Disney when we went for Disney World's 50th anniversary. I decided not to do that because I want to keep that very themed, and I just decided that I am going to finish these photos of a trip that Christopher, Lana, and I took back in, I don't even remember when this was. It's been a while. But the photos are not finished, so I wanted to get them finished. This is a solo trip from 2021, and this is our trip. This one almost finished. This one not so much. So I'm going to do these, and I'm going to be using my Never Ending kit. And I've also got my Disney cart over here so that I will be able to use my Never Ending kit and just pull in a couple Disney products because that is going to allow me to really work on these photos and get this trip finished. So let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so I'm going to start out with some white cardstock, and I'm going to mat my photos on there. Now, these photos I'm going to keep separate. A lot of the times I like my photos together on one large mat, but this time I really wanted to separate them because these photos are a lot visually. So this is inside of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is inside of Hollywood Studios. And that ride has a lot of visual effects that aren't completely captured by the camera. So I wanted to separate those photos so it didn't look like they were running into each other. Also, one photo, it's the same thing in the photo, it's just at different angles. And the one photo has a pretty clear picture of Donald on it. Now, I wasn't exactly sure how I wanted to figure out where to put these photos, right? I wasn't exactly sure how I wanted them to line up. I thought that I was going to have them overlap slightly. I decided ultimately to completely separate them. And I am going to use these smaller papers to basically add, right? Like, I thought that I was going to need this yellow down at the bottom because originally the photos were going to be kind of staggered. But you know what? Everything that I thought was going to happen with this layout, it didn't turn out that way. The only plan that I had at the very beginning was to nestle that viewfinder next to Donald because it nestled quite nicely. And that is the only thing that actually came to fruition on this layout that I had in my head when I was pulling papers. So this is a chipboard Donald. It is a licensed Disney embellishment that I could not tell you where it came from. It has been in my stash for a hot minute. It's one of those things that I really like, but just never had the perfect page for it. I felt like this one was, you know, there is Cartoon Donald on the ride, and every time I tried to use this Donald embellishment with an actual Donald that kind of walks around the park or you visit, it just didn't feel right. This felt right. So I'm going to build a cluster up here at the top. Now I am covering up a big, vast black space in this photo that you are absolutely not missing anything with. There is paper covering it up. Wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do here, but I did not like the Donald and the viewfinder straight on this striped paper. So I pulled out this Paper Studio planner sticker pack. It is a planner sticker pack, but honestly, it's just a bunch of labels to me. They call it Borders Foiled. I got this on clearance over a year ago now, and didn't pay attention enough when we went to Hobby Lobby when we were in Arizona, if there was anything similar again. I did buy those scissors though while I was at Hobby Lobby because you can never have too many scissors. So I decided that that label was still not enough. Donald still felt very floaty on this layout, and I don't need a floaty Donald Duck. So I did bring in this red and white plaid paper. And that is from a 6x6 paper pad that we got as a table gift at the retreat that we were at, and it just so happens to coordinate with what I've got going on here. Since I popped the viewfinder up, I also decided to pop up that castle ticket. That way there would be a little bit of lift on the page. It's still a pretty flat layout, even with the embellishments that I end up adding to it. It is not one of my thicker ones, and that is fine with me. I like a good mix of thick and thin layouts. I think it adds interest to my books, and it makes me happy. So if you are an all-the-time flat scrapbooker, so you can fit as many pages into your albums as you can, I think that that's awesome. And if you are I want a 1/2 inch thick layout for every page and I fit 4 layouts in the album, girl, more power to you. But I like that healthy mix, right? I honestly don't care how many albums I end up with, but I do care about the variety in those albums. Does that make sense? I think that kind of makes sense. Okay, so I am also going to bring in this black and white label up here, up at the top. I wanted to add a couple pops of that black color because my title is that big word in black as well. So I'm going to bring in these freckled fawn puffy embellishments, and these puffy embellishments are going to move around and move around and move around until I ultimately figure out exactly how I want them on the page, and then they get glued down so they aren't going anywhere. They weren't too terribly sticky to begin with. I do have these really colorful glitter hearts, kind of like a glitter epoxy heart almost, and I'm going to move those around the page as well. Just a couple of spots just to give it a little bit of something, right? This layout could have been very plain with little to no embellishments because there is a lot visually on the photos, and there's a lot visually with the colors of paper. But you know, more is more. So we are going to go ahead and get those down. I'm going to grab some more stickers and things just to try to figure out what else I want to put on here. Now, I thought this was going to say Hooray Adventure as my title. I've pulled out these bits from my Disney cart. They didn't work. I didn't like it. The Hooray was too small. And it just kind of looked like it was getting lost on that page. So I'm going to flip through a sticker book. I thought this would have been fun to put on this magical banner. However, where the banner needed to be tucked to the word adventure was definitely too big of a gap. And again, I was going to have a title that just kind of looked like it was being surrounded by nothing. So that had to change out as well. So I'm going to grab my letters that I have in the Neverending Kit, and I have these LE Studio yellow tile letters. Now they are just a skosh smaller than I wanted them to be to fill up the space here. However, I do find an embellishment to work there, so I feel like my spacing has turned out fine, which is something I was really worrying about there for a hot minute. I even toyed with the idea of pulling the stuff up, cutting down that red paper, or tucking it farther up into the page just so I wouldn't have that awkward space. I thought this arrow was going to fill the space, but it does not. But what it does do is give that black and white star puffy sticker a place to sit that really looks finished. So I put the one up at the top and the one down at the bottom. And I'm like, yes, I'm loving it. That's great. I'm going to take these little circle stickers, and they are not very well adhesed. So I add some more of my own adhesive on there and tuck them up there with the ticket, just because there was a lot of white up there that really had, you know, nothing interesting. It was white next to white. So I go ahead and put those stickers there. And now I grab these Paper House stickers, and they have these little arrow thingamajiggies. And there's 4 on the sticker sheet, and I still had 1 on the second sticker sheet. So in the package, it doesn't come with 2 of them. There aren't 2 sheets of the same stickers. I have combined the packaging because you guys know how much I abhor packaging. So I've combined that and then placed those in there with a little bit of Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. The good thing about the Nuvo Deluxe is it will dry clear and matte, so any of that glue that's kind of splooging out from there, it's not going to matter whatsoever. All right, guys, that is going to do it for this layout. Just got to add a little bit of extra adhesive so my pieces don't fly off. And there you have it, our first layout of Magical May using the Never Ending Kit. Now, I did Scrapjack Mel, who is today's May I Scrap Lift You scrapbooker, but I did that at retreat, so I do not have the process video with that, so that inspiration is in my retreat layout share. There's a couple of ladies that I did that with, so there won't be process videos on their day. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.